Hello, everybody, again, with the interest in our ICA workshop on how to integrate AI in our life sciences curriculum. And I'm very happy we have Dr. Tianchong Wang, or I understood we can call him Alex as well.
Yes.
Here with us from really down under. So thank you for spending your evening with us, I must say. So Dr. Wan is has a focus on artificial intelligence in education. He had his training, I see a lot in Hong Kong University, where he also worked as a postdoc at the Education University of Hong Kong. So really in the middle of education, what we're interested on. Even then already, he had a first master level course on AI in education in 2020. That's already 5 years ago. I think I wasn't realizing that AI would be getting so important then. Also an advocate of the UN Sustainable Development Goals to enhance education, equity, quality, and inclusiveness. We haven't touched on that, but I think this is also very important for all of us within ICA. So we are really excited to learn about how he sees empowering educators and learning with AI. So please, Alex, if I can say, share your screen with us, and we look forward to your presentation.
Thank you. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. This morning, I think we heard many conversations about how AI is changing teaching and learning, about the chatbot, about these intelligent tutoring systems, about how AI can generate writing, and how we are evaluating of AI's writing things outputs. So these discussions are really important. And for my presentation, I want to step back a little bit and look at more from a wider institutional lens, more about how the AI is transforming the ecosystem of universities, and more specifically, how it might help us to advance the education for sustainable development, ESD. So so we're gonna talk a little bit more about the changing landscape of sustainability and higher education, and how the AI can support transforming sustainability education research and the operation within the universities, within the higher education sectors, and how we need to be taking this AI approach as through the ethical and responsible adoption of AI for either ESD or even in general in higher education. So given this as the reason why we had this talk, this presentation was like I think it was prompted by one of the articles, or before I wrote together with one of the chief of education at the UNESCO. We were talking about how AI is accelerating the progress towards education for sustainable development. So I think at the moment, our like the whole world, we are as human race, we are actually having this urgent issues and challenges facing with the climate crisis, massive loss of biodiversity, pollution, pandemic diseases, extreme poverty, inequalities, violent conflicts, and other all kinds of environmental, social, and economic crises that endanger our lives in our planet. So urgent actions are needed, and often these issues are interlinked. Um, so that, but as we are actually in a very like in but we are globally we are working together, as what UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said, that we are in a battle for our lives, but it is a battle we can win. In 2015, we the UN Assembly adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, as you probably would know. Basically, the sustainable SDGs talk about the 17 goals that all the member states of the UN are trying to working together in order to achieve. And if we look at from the different the lens of issues we are facing here, some of them belong to the society issue, some of the issue more about the economy issue, and some of the issues are more related to the environment issue. And in the higher education sector, we are like how we are addressing these SDGs. One of the key enabler of SDGs is actually is SDG 4, the quality education, and among those targets of the SDG 4, the SDG 4.7 particularly mentioned that education for sustainable development is the foundation for this required transformation and providing everyone with the necessary knowledge, skills, and values and attitudes to become the change agent for the sustainable development. So these are the goals that we are trying to achieve by the year 2030. Um, the idea of this ESD is really good, that it's enable learners to develop their cognitive and non-cognitive skills such as critical thinking, competence for collaboration, problem solving, coping with complexity and risks, building resilience, thinking systematically and creatively, and empowering them to take responsible actions as global citizens. So with this idea of ESD, universities are also in the mandate of embedding the ESD through their curriculum, through their practices. So even, for example, Times Higher Education, when they do the university ranking, one of the key indicator is about the sustainability impact. That's why I think probably if you are in your research publication profile, you will also see, like which publication link to which relate to as which SCG. So all these, even your research is connected to the SDGs, and collectively the university is reporting to these agencies or like or government bodies about how we are all contributing to this global vision of with the SDGs. And universities through this so SDG education for sustainable development is achieved through both teaching, research, and operation within higher education. But currently, we are facing significant limitations. For example, the fragmented ESD in curricula means that yes, we have this idea of embedding more about sustainable development is through the curriculum, but actually, like these, we different disciplines has touch on the sustainability related topic, but never really having a thorough, like a systematic way of providing the ESD. And also, the low engagement, often students may find the sustainability issue is not really concern them. It's not really something that really relevant to them. It's not really something that they have strong passion on to learn more about. Also, like often when we talk about these global issues, how this are concerned with our local relevance, right? So we are also facing having this kind of imbalance issue. So at the same time, like ESD demands the learners to who can imagine alternatives and come up with solutions to address the sustainability issues and act collectively. But often we teach sustainability as content, not as a lived participatory transformation. So now we are having a golden opportunity as we are adopting AI, as AI becoming more ubiquitous as throughout all sectors, including education, including the ESD. So as what AI itself, it's not really a new concept. It's a subdomain of computer science that dates all the way back to the 1950s. However, like at the moment, we don't like what AI is all about. We all talk about AI for everybody talking about AI, but what exactly is AI? So like because AI involved with different disciplinary knowledge, involved with computer science, involved with cognitive science, psychology, linguistic, different areas of disciplines. So and also it's an evolving concept. Currently we consider AI more as an umbrella term. It's more about something as long as a system that can exhibit or simulate intelligent behavior, we consider that as AI. So AI is something that you have been likely been using in your daily life, even as you watch a video on the Netflix, you shop on Amazon, you use Google, you play Spotify, you use the self-driving car, you use the electronic cars with the self-driving functions. All these technologies, they are powered by AI technology. So AI is not something, completely new. It's already part of our daily life. And we know that AI is disruptive. It's having a lots of implications to education, to daily life, to our the way we participate in the society. So we talk about earlier we talk about the issue about the plagiarism, we talk about the copyright, we talk about the biases, inaccuracy. So it really involves lots of issues and many are debatable issues. So but at the same time we are also it also offer lots of opportunities as well. So yeah, so AI has this double-edged nature as based on disrupting things, but at the same time empowering and also enabling new opportunities. So as we're looking at the AI in education, as what the host mentioned earlier, like I was lucky in a couple years back. I was looking at AI in and like we have this research project happening about to look at what might be we were projecting what might be something more forward thinking, what might be something that we thought might be the future of education, and AI was one of the area that we thought that would really transform teacher the education space. And we were quite lucky. So at the time we look into the different research paper. We did the scoping review. We look at different the implementations and practice about AI in education, and categorize them into three different major directions: learning about AI, learning from AI, and the learning with AI. So these are the different ways of AI being positioned in our education space. Um, so learning from AI in this paradigm, AI serve as the source of knowledge and the means by which students learn. So we treat AI as the teacher, right? And learning about AI, this is something that the as educator will talk about equipping students with the AI related knowledge, skills, and values. So we talk about AI literacy so that students can thrive in an AI rich future. And but at the same time, most importantly, we are talking about the learning with AI. It's about using AI as tools to improve learning and teaching practice. So so back to our point about the education for sustainable development, why AI matters? Because AI is a transformative force. It enables adaptive, data-informed, and contextualized learning. It supports interdisciplinary and system thinking competencies, and it empowers the university to model sustainability through their smart operations. So one of the research that published on the Nature Communications, they actually look at the role of AI in achieving the SDGs, and actually the SDG 4, which is the quality education, is one of the key the SDG that the author found is of having one of the most significant impact, positive impact on the SDGs. So, but then with having all these kind of issues, I think we all talk about academic integrity, about its concerns. So I think at the moment we are still, navigating through this process. We heard so many teachers talking about, having complaints about, how do we navigate this? The universities doesn't really have a very clear policy often. We often the universities having some kind of guideline, but largely rely on the teachers of how or the individual lectures to how to do it. So and for the students also often in a confusing space of whether what kind of AI use is allowed, what kind of AI use is not. So in one of the extreme case that happened recently in one of the Australian universities here, students were put into a disciplinary office because like he was being accused for misuse of AI, whereas the student argued about, oh, I just used the very general way. I did not use ChatGPT. I just used the Grammarly just to fix some of the grammar. I didn't know like how that actually became and when the turn detected and flag up and this is AI writing. So the student went really, really extreme and actually sued the university. So currently they're still in the legal battle, but just saying that we are having this kind of issue and so the traditional clear cut approach to university policy didn't really work that well, even though we are the universities all trying to update their policy to consider the AI element, but still we are facing challenges. But I guess, but we as we talk about regardless like it or not, we know that AI is still here to stay, and if history has taught us anything, we are actually, facing similar situation when the calculator came out to, to enter the classroom when the, or similarly, like, or like even this is a news in the 1988, the math teacher protests against the calculator use because the teacher felt that if the student use calculator too early, they won't learn math concepts. Similarly, in the years of around 2000 something, when the internet, when we have the internet, then then we worry about students just use the internet to copy and paste content from the internet and in their assignment. So we've been through this. Now the problem with AI is more complicated, but if we look at from whether from either from short term, long term, and short term, midterm, and long term perspective, can we just ignore them, ban them, or like really or embrace it fully, or design around it, or rethink it? We really need to put this into careful consideration. I think at the moment, to try to keep a nice balance, most of the universities are adopting this light traffic light system, which is using the red light referring AI tools are not allowed for the assignment. Yellow light used with caution. Having the permission to use, but having you have to be very cautious on certain ways of using it. Whereas the green light, you are encouraged to use AI. So even like this is not a it's far from a perfect system, but at least provided some kind of overall structure and the guidance that help the teachers to or the student to navigate through AI use. So for AI, like because of this AI use, we are able to adopt AI. So now we are able to move from the one size fits all approach to more a responsive learning ecosystem with through the AI like driven adaptive learning tailored to content based on students' prior knowledge, discipline, or regional context. AI can diagnose their misconceptions, scaffold inquiry, or personalized feedback. So basically, it's kind of like interactive process. AI building some profile of you draw a profile of the user and provide more targeted instruction. So this address our long-standing issue of teaching to the middle. Um, so even though this video is itself is not really about higher education, but it demonstrates how like AI, even tools like ChatGPT can be an educational tool. Let's just have a brief look on that.
OpenAI invited myself and my son Imran here to try out some of their new technology. And so we're curious about how good it might be at tutoring someone in math on Khan Academy. So let's get it started. It's loading up. All right, make sure it can see our screen.
Actually, in this form.
Hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. Correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
Really,
Remember the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha.
So I think because of time, I just want to give you our impression of what this kind of AI like engagement might look like. So
OpenAI invited.
So with the AI, I can build with students more student diagnosis students it can become an intelligent tutoring system, whereas providing student more targeted instruction. there are lots of intelligent tutoring systems that are specifically designed for certain disciplines that providing student education resources that more targeted for our learners. Also, there are also type of AI more like, for example, kind of like ChatGPT, but it's kind of like an agent that the student can engage with. So this is the kind of like it's like it's similar like ChatGPT, but student can actually asking questions. So like this ChatNet Zero is a world first climate target chatbot. So this kind of chatbot specifically being trained more on the climate related issue so that the learner can actually engage with the system and get and learn from it. So, and also there's a kind of chatbot that you can use on like having the dialogue of, so through for specifically for the education for sustainable development, it will be about raising the environmental awareness, having the practical educational eco-friendly tips, real-time user update, so communicate building. So this kind of so it's actually becoming a learning companion. Also, AI allows to provide a virtual lab that provides students a safe environment to test out different things because of and as mentioned an issue that students often have with low engagement because they cannot really having a clear picture, a full picture of what the environmental or the economic or societal impact might look like, and even with different solutions, with different kind of interventions, what kind how thing what can change, what might be look like. So this really gives us the learner the ability to witness the cascading effect of their decisions, to foster their system thinking and the socio-emotional learning. It enable a safe exploration of the policy trade-offs and cultivate the system thinking and ethical reasoning. So when the learners see and feel the ripple effects of their decisions, sustainability shifts can shift from the abstraction to agency. So an example, this is the kind of like the game that is powered by AI, and the students can actually manipulate elements on this kind of system and having a direct feedback in terms of what impact it might generate. Let's have a quick look. So basically, this is kind of like a simulated city, and then like what kind of investment you do, what kind of project you do, what kind of impact you create, and how can we use the certain policy to counter that impact and the impact and the negative impact, something like that. And also in terms of AI can serve as a learning analytics, can provide lectures with data-informed decisions as the students you learn from the education for sustainable development related topics that it really allow us to having the early warning of how the students are not being engaged in this related topic and what we can do with it. So, and also AI can accelerating sustainability research as a research partner. So, again, some of the issues that are related to as in terms of the SDG, lots of research has been published in these areas. And again, another research published recently about how AI has been playing a role in the sustainable development research. Their research map out this. They actually look at 792 scientific articles and map out those SDGs and with the how AI played a role and actually found that lots of the AI lots of the areas that AI are contributing a significant role there in terms of forecasting, in terms of the problem in terms of clean energy, vegetation, where predicting insights or providing system optimization about the or provide through the data mining and remote sensing and accelerate the experimentation process or and appropriate simulation process. So even for our just daily basic research, we use AI tools for like a literature review really to fast track our research process, like tools like ScienceBase or to can help us to quickly standardize different research papers. We can use tools like Google's Notebook LM to we upload those papers into this notebook LM, and it can help us to quickly summarize information and gather the key insights from those research papers. In terms of university operations, I think through the ESD AI help to monitor the sustainability matrix in real time in terms of the energy, water, waste, and carbon footprint of the universities. It can provide the interactive dashboard to turn data into learning opportunities. So AI can enhance the procurement ethics and life cycle analysis. This is the kind of this is the kind of example that um, this kind of dashboard to showcase of how the university perform in terms of different sustainability criteria or the indicators. So a quick demo is this.
Sustainability teams need quality insights faster. That's where Agentforce comes in. The Salesforce sustainability team is using Agentforce to deliver critical sustainability insights from the company's own data in natural language. Internal stakeholders now have access to the insights they're looking for, all in a matter of seconds. We can automatically surface insights such as historical emissions, climate targets, and energy consumption that help us with everything from required reporting to customer requests. Agentforce answers critical questions like, what are our climate targets? And what is our progress towards them? It empowers our stakeholders with information on important topics like emission sources and methodologies, providing trusted data at their fingertips. With Agentforce, we'll also be able to seamlessly detect anomalies.
Yeah. So this is the kind of system that really empower the university operation as well. And so this is really because of all the opportunities offered by AI, like we are having the opportunity to reimagine university roles as to amplify its impact across teaching, research, and engagement. Universities model sustainability through operation and ethics, through our institution become the agents of the transformation, not just the education providers. So it really invite us to reimagine university itself as the living ecosystem of the sustainable innovation. But we have to also be careful of with the embracing AI because as I think several speakers all mentioned about AI having all kinds of issues. For example, the deep fake that the things that AI like the video images can look real, but it is actually digitally altered to mislead viewers. The misinformation and disinformation provided by AI can AI can generate those convincing information, but it's not true. Uh, Hallucinations. So AI make up something that sounds reasonable, but it's actually not the facts. And also the biases like AI have because AI is following this garbage in, garbage out principle. The output is mostly based on the data it is being trained. So I think and historical data can lead to biased outputs. So an example of this, for example, if the other day I asked AI to generate an image of a salmon fish. That because the data, if you look at the salmon fish, it's all the salmon from the food. So the AI mistakenly trained the AI output it and as a food, not really the fish in the river. So this is the situation that's happening. And also, like AI is also all these AI companies having this kind of like arm race at the moment, like of them building the more powerful model. We have now GPT-5, and like the Google is making their own AI model. The Facebook making Meta is making their own model. Each are competing their how powerful they are. And in order to make it so powerful, they have to build massive data space and data centers, and these data centers consume lots of power and having lots of like the carbon oxygen emissions. You because of time, I'm not going to play this video, but basically the AI um the environmental footprint is something that we really have to consider. And one of the possible solutions is the small language model. This is something that UNESCO has been promoting as well. It's about having the on-premise self-hosted AI models at the locally. So basically, your university can host your own AI model specifically for your own purposes rather than having so powerful a super big AI model and so powerful model, but at the risk of but at the same time you're using it just for very simple things. In this way, it's not only reduce the carbon footprint, but also enhance the data sovereignty and also allow contextualized customization for the ESD goals. This also give opportunities for many developing countries as well, because like we are now in a and at the risk of having the no new digital divide. So the use of AI is not really distributed uniformly across different countries. So different those who have access to good access to AI and those who are not having good access to AI, the gap is becoming wider. So and also lots of the data is dominated by English language, so that those who are not speaking in English language, if you engage with AI, the data itself is limited. The training model is not, the training is of the AI is not that perfect, and then the outcome output you get from the AI is not is limited. So this really requires a concerted effort from all the stakeholders, from regardless of government, universities, schools, families. We all work together to address these issues. For example, and also from the education perspective, like the government, the intergovernment agencies like UNESCO are working on these AI competency frameworks to make sure to help the teachers and the student have the right ability to engage with AI. Like at the same time, we all at the UNESCO we have been working closely with industry partners, with the national governments, really to work together to develop some recommendations of what make better sense for the individual countries and institutions for adopting AI. Different regions like in Europe, we have this AI ethics guideline. We have the ethic for AI for like what might be the recommendations. But at the same time, we need a clear AI policy at the institutional level. Teacher staff has a key role in scaffolding students' effective, responsible use of AI for learning, and we need to stay informed by exploring and piloting different AI tools within and beyond classroom, so that to gain the first-hand understanding, encourage our students to have critical thinking, always check the credibility of the source before trusting the information, always ask why, try to engage in the higher order learning activities that promote higher order thinking, building the competence-based authentic assessment, as like we have been talking about assessment for learning, assessment as learning for years. Now we really have the urgency to reinvent our assessment method, to think about how we are surviving with all the issues because of AI. Like we can do the oral assessment, we can do the portfolios. There are lots of ways we can do that. And finally, having the open dialogue with your peers, with the colleagues, with the student, to share addressing both AI's benefits and risks, and share how we might cautiously and responsibly use AI to be creative and get inspired. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex, you really covered a lot of issues in this
Yes.
presentation. So thank you for linking it up to sustainability, self-learning, but then still also the global view from the UNESCO and a lot of reflections. But the end, I see it comes back to critical thinking. We have to take responsibility as educators, and taking it step by step, I think,
Yep.
to move forward. So this presentation, but also is open for questions, but also general questions you might have, or reflections you might have had from your discussion groups and so on. So please raise your hand if you have a question or a reflection you want to make on this or even other presentations. I might not see everybody at the same time, but maybe I will start off with a reflection I have, because you showed indeed there's a lot of benefits in there, and it can enhance our research, and our education is based on research. So I think we will embed it at the end. Sometimes I get afraid about all these possibilities, and I'm coming from a food department, maybe that as a context as well. Yeah. Are we going ahead because it's all going so quickly into fast science, and maybe some of us want to have slow science?
Yes.
How do you see it? You understand a little bit? Yeah, we can do so many things and have so many opportunities and move forward. and summarize lots of articles. But yeah, maybe I'm old-fashioned. I still want to fully read things and get into depth, or yeah, is this contradictory or not?
No, I think this is a really good point because even not from, like I've not, if I take them the head of another head as being an editor of one of the journal in our
Yeah.
area. So, like I think especially since last year we have a major boom in terms of the submissions. Suddenly we have so many submissions, and then now all our associate editors, deputy editors have to go through all those papers, and it used to be like we can easily judge by quickly read through the thing, scan through the things, and then to make a quick desk decision of whether it goes to review or just rejection. But because now I think because the AI has been supporting a lot of the research writing, so many of them from the first look it looks really good. But then once it goes to the reviewers, we start having all kinds of issues like, oh, this not make sense at all, or this research itself has a major flaw. So it really creates that kind of thing issue that, as you said, like now, like having this kind of fast research thing, like lots of publication coming on, lots of really fast track the research process, but at the same time creating issues as well. And we think, yeah, this is a major challenge. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know if there are any other questions or reflections from our participants. Christina, I see you have a hand up. You have to unmute your microphone. You can, I think.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, Alex, for a very interesting presentation. And to follow up Mika's question, in my breakout room, we had a discussion also about the challenges related to AI. And one of our colleagues mentioned the dynamic of evolution of AI being too fast for us to follow the new developed AI tools. So what do you think, how we can overcome this challenge to use it? Would be that some institutional approach to introduce us with new AI tools, or just based on recommendation from our colleagues? From our point of view as a teacher, and also what do you think about the point of view as of students?
I think this directly linked with our work with AI literacy, because like we try to the reason why like the UNESCO's framework on AI literacy for both teachers and students are not really tied with specific technology. It's about we broadly set out these are the areas that need to be paying particular attention, need to be having develop a good understanding without really about technology itself. So by having so this I think applies to lectures as well, about like by understanding what is the role of how we are making sure that human in the loop, making sure that human AI collaboration, we are always on the driver's seat, monitoring the process, critically evaluate the output. It's more about training our own mindsets rather than adopting, or other than should we follow the any particular technology or not, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we tailor what we need in the end. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Julian, you have a question, I see.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Really interesting concluding keynote. But I was particularly struck by the little video clip you gave of the young man being tutored by AI, sat with his father, and that was quite impressive, and one thing we struggle to do in universities is to provide, because of time, because of resource, is that one-to-one mentoring, guidance. If you go back to the real origins of higher education, that's where it started, with one-to-one or one to small group. Is there a danger that as those types of systems become even more or progress further, that we actually become redundant? I mean, what else can we, if those systems can tutor and give, a step-by-step guide through, in that case, a relatively simple example, but it could be related to a more complex biochemical reaction or something like that. Where do we fit in 10 years' time?
That's a really good comment and a really good question. I think that the answer will be no, because think about this, like what AI really provide us here, as you see from the video, is extending the opportunity to access to knowledge. So it used to be the traditional model is students coming to the classroom, start learning, having the learning with the lectures. But now, we've been talking about many years about teacher more as a facilitator, becoming a facilitator, becoming the guide on the side rather than the sage on the stage. So it's really like this is the part. I think AI really can help to accelerate that kind of transition. And also a similar idea like what we do with the flipped teaching model, as like we when we do the flipped classroom, we record the videos and then let the student to learn those lectures at home. But when I come to the classroom, it's more about having the problem solving, having the discussion, having more hands-on activities, whereas it cannot be replaced, through this home learning experience. I think this is the similar idea. Like when students engage with AI, it can extend this opportunity for students to access those foundational knowledge that can, a student can actually, and it's compared to the flipped classroom of you have the one size fits all videos, whereas the AI, the student is really providing the kind of instruction really tailored to students' performance level, whether it's the students being outperforming student wanting something more challenging, or the students who are lagging behind and really need additional support. So AI actually can provide that kind of targeted instruction from that end. But then when they come back to the classroom as lectures, what we do is more about engaging with the student, having more hands-on activities, doing more problem solving. That's really eventually, change this dynamic between lectures and the students. And even like lots of universities is going this transition of moving more things online, like lots of lectures moving online, teacher recording small chunks of videos, when the classroom time is more becoming the intensive sessions of, let's say, 3 hours, 4 hours. But throughout these hours, it's all about activities rather than the lecturing. I think that's really so we are to in a sense we are even becoming more valuable. It's just that our role is shifting from delivering that content to actually facilitate the students a deeper, more meaningful learning.
Okay. Thank you. These are
Thank you.
white words, I think, we are challenged with. I got to know that we only have 5 minutes in the meeting, so we are approaching, at least here, we are approaching lunchtime. I think down under or already later. So I would like to close the meeting by, trying to wrap up a little bit, what I have learned, that it's not about learning about AI only, but surely we need to learn with AI, as you mentioned nicely. In a way, I also learned that AI is not a new concept after all. It's just the next step now that we take, but it's still disruptive in a way. And I learned especially in research, because we get so many more possibilities to understanding these things as well. But I learned as teachers, we still need to be coaches, and maybe we are even challenged more on our own competence, expertise, because if you have to coach, if you have to reflect, you really need to know your domain, study domain quite well, to be able to interact with the students as well, and then we get maybe a little bit vulnerable as well in what we know and what we don't know, and that we have to admit that things are evolving all the time, and that maybe explains some of our reluctance sometimes, of our to embed this kind of. But of course, it's also about resources and having a lot of women power, I should say, also to do this coaching as well. But there are benefits, and we see them more and more. So we first will have the early adopters, but if we see the benefits, automatically we will run into it, and maybe within 5 years we don't talk about it anymore, and we have another topic in ICA Edu, but I think we will still have the topic for a few years more. I think there's still things evolving, and we're not there yet. So with this, I want to close, and I want to thank especially all our presenters with excellent presentations. They were very complimentary as well in what they talked about. So thank you a lot for being with us. Also to all the participants. It was a long morning, but I think we have some lessons to take home with us in our own universities, teaching environments. I think we will have good tops and tips. It was, I think I heard somewhere on this. And I would like to thank especially Mathis, who is sitting next to me, for all the technical support, and Simon for all the secretariat support. And of course, the whole ICA Edu committee, because I'm just here, the face now, but I want to thank especially Julian for helping to set this up, Christina, Stefano, Marta, Dimitrios, Andreas, and I hope, and then Eileen, and I think I haven't forgot anybody, but we will be back with more things, other webinars, probably not the whole morning, but maybe a noon sessions in 2026 again. So we hope we can interact with you on another occasion as well. So thank you for this great morning. Enjoy your lunch, and I have to go for teaching at 1 o'clock as well, because that's our core business at the end, and interact. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon. Have a nice week, whatever. Thanks for having you around.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.